are seeing Agents Browser, the visualization tool of AgensGraph. And after the initial modeling and data population, we could come up with this meta graph. So as you can find, there are household, label, and food group, and they have two relationships among these two vertices: consume and expanded. And food group also has nutrition group. And in terms of data size, there are about close to actually over 100 edges, right? And the survey was performed close to 7,000 households in Northern Africa. So let me show you this query examples. So first, we wanted to see the consumption pattern of a certain household. So this household ID number 4 in Uganda, and we matched all their consumption patterns and then return this path. So when we return the results, so it shows this household has various consumption pattern. Sources, right, from proteins, meat, and so it looks good, right? They have this shows purchasing, how much they spend to get this salt, right? 1,800. I don't have the exchange rate, but it doesn't seem to be a significant amount. Okay, and we can instantly compare these to the other household in that region. So when you add this household number 3, ID number 3, pretty much very similar consumption pattern, right? Except fats and tubers. Right? So this can be instant comparison. And the next example is to find the food group and nutrition group matching. So we matched this has relationship, any vertices with has relationships connected by this relationship. We return this. And in the beginning, as I mentioned, our focus is vitamin A and heme iron. You may notice that they do not have common denominator. Right? They do not have any common denominator. So if we exclude other ingredients, it can be something like this. So there are the food group which provides vitamin A, either heme iron, not both. Okay. All right, back to query example. So here, this query shows the household who consumes this vitamin A and heme iron 7 times during 7-day record period. So they could consume during the last week they could consume every day. So that means they are in very good condition. Right? So when you run this query, you could come up with this result, and there are 3 households in this category. So just think about it. Among 7,000 households, only 3 households could reach this nutrition consumption level. So, but when when I think of this consumption quality, maybe even the people in Western world do not have this great nutrition. So I could kind of ease this condition maybe 5 times, during last 7 days. Maybe it's not too bad yet, right? So when you run this query, you will have 8 more households, right? So rearranging them. So you can see there are 8 more households in this category, and you can also see these similar patterns, among their consumptions. So we can see how they source this food to get either vitamin A or hem iron. So you can also track their food sourcing path like this. Okay, they household 1226, they consumed meat and eggs to get hem iron and vitamin A. It can be different in this household or this household, right? Yeah. So you can immediately compare the consumption pattern among these different households. Okay. And so the next example, actually, these are the household in really great situations. So in the next example, we wanted to see the household who couldn't consume more than twice during the 7-day record period. So when you run this, I would expect it will take a while, and I'll tell you the reason. So when I run this query, I have close to 500 households in this category, and I cannot even identify individual households, but there are quite many households in this category. Right? So just way more than the household in great situation than this. Okay. All right. So the next example is this takes some context, and I don't think it'll be easy to get this insight using relational database. So in this query, it's about egg farming. So they consumed eggs just once in a week, but the sourcing method of this getting egg was farming. That means these households have chickens at home. But even so, they could only consume once. Then it comes to these questions: why they could consume only once when they have chickens? Will it be some disease issue, or did they need some cash? So when I run the query, yes, when I run the query, there are 17 households in this category. So in this case, World Food Program data scientists need to do further investigation for these households. And the next query example is a little bit sad example, because these people had to beg for food. And even by begging, they could consume only once during 7 days. So when you run this query, there are 40 households in this category. So there are 40 households in this category, and they could consume this type of foods only once a week. And that means they are in very, very vulnerable situation. So they are the people who need immediate assistance. Okay, and the next curious example is a little bit interesting topic because we are comparing sugars and vitamin A, right? And during the 7-day recall period, this household consumed vitamin A only once, while they are consuming sugars 7 days in a row. Yeah. So simply by observing this theory, we are seeing the nutritions are not balanced. So when you run this query, there are 43 households in this category. So they consumed sugar. They all consumed the sugar. Of course, they consumed vitamin A by having eggs and dark veggie, but they spend more time to consume sugars, right? So, but we can think of this. They might have very easier sourcing of sugars, right? Such as having sugar cane in their backyard, right? Or simply not really good education on nutrition. So we may not blame them, but when it comes to next query, so we added this purchasing method. So specifically, this household group purchased and they paid cash when they purchased sugars. So that means they have cash in hands, which could be spent for other food. So when you run this query, we found this 16 household who paid cash to get sugar, and they only consumed eggs or dark veggie, which contains vitamin A, only once. So these are the household, and they may need better education, or all the food program could consider issuing the vouchers which specifically limit the purchase of certain items. So that can be the method. Okay, this was the use case of United Nations. Thank you for watching.